contemplating doing this vlog for a little while now. Some people might be shocked what I have to say, other people won't be. Some might be disappointed and others sad. Some may even rejoice. But I've decided to come out and tell everybody that I am straight. That's right, I am straight as an arrow. I like men. It's a little weird for me to come out and say that I'm straight, isn't it? Some of you might be wondering where the heck this came from. Others of you are probably just sitting there waiting patiently for the explanation because you know it's gonna come. Recently, somebody brought to my attention something that Rachel Maddow said. If you don't know who she is an MSNBC news anchor, political commentator, and she is openly gay. In an interview, she was asked if she felt frustration towards an equally well-known news presenter who was widely assumed to be gay but who hadn't come out. Now, what she said in response is, I'm sure other people in the business have considered reasons why they're doing what they're doing, but I do think that if you're gay, you owe it to your community to come out. Now, this blew up into a huge controversy because a lot of people felt that she was pointing a finger at Anderson Cooper. If you don't know who Anderson Cooper is, he is a CNN news anchor who has the most beautiful blue eyes I've ever seen. Now, Maddow later did clarify on her own blog that she wasn't talking about Anderson Cooper, that he wasn't mentioned in the interview at all, but people still feel that she was singling him out. Now, this aside, on her blog, she then went on to stress the 3 long-held ethics that she believed about coming out. Now, the first one that she thought gay people, generally speaking, owed it to their community and future generations to come out. The second one was that everybody should decide for themselves when and if they do come out. And the third one talked about how closeted people should reasonably expect to be outed by other gay people if they preyed upon the gay communities. Now, I 100% support the decision for somebody to come out, but I do feel that it should be their own decision. I don't feel that it is anybody's responsibility, not to their community or to future generations, to come out. After all, one's own sexuality is their own private business, and they do not owe it to anybody to do anything. Her statement about having a responsibility to the future generations and to the gay community to come out actually really irked me. The reason for that is because we do not demand or expect straight people to come out and make statements about their sexuality. So why would we expect gay people to do this for their community? I mean, nobody's demanding that George Clooney make a statement about how much he likes women, and he totally likes the women. Now, I'm not stupid. I understand that there's a lot of negativity surrounding homosexuality. We need to purge the ignorance from society and teach acceptance so that children and adults alike can exist in this world and be themselves without fearing who they are and fearing the repercussions if they show the world who they are. We don't want people to have to hide. But is the way to go about doing it forcing people to come out and guilt-tripping them? In one statement, Maddow says that everybody has the right to come out if they want to come out, when they want to come out. But in the next, she's basically implying that people are shirking their gay duties by not coming out. In a lot of ways, it felt like she was calling out other gay people who weren't necessarily as open as she is about their sexual orientation, and to me, that really felt like a big step backwards. Are gay people who don't want to talk about their sexual orientation closeted, or are they simply private? Just because they don't want to blast it all over TMZ or In Touch magazine doesn't mean that they're closeted, it just means that they're private, and all of us can appreciate that, can't we? In regards to this whole thing, I have to ask the question, why does it matter? Sexual orientation to me is similar to religion and eating habits, or whether somebody wears boxers or briefs. It doesn't matter to me. I am completely unaffected by it. Granted, I understand why women the world over would want to know if Anderson Cooper is gay or not. After all, those blue eyes are a national treasure. In reality, what happens behind his bedroom door is his own business, and it has nothing to do with me. Unfortunately. And the truth is, it isn't just Anderson Cooper's sexuality or Rachel Maddow's or George Clooney's or insert any other popular name here. No, it's everybody. Even my own sexuality has been questioned. These people question what I do and who I flirt with and the things I say. How is it any of their business? But I have to ask, does knowing that I would kiss a girl but not dip below her belt change anything? Is it going to make them sleep better at night? I don't think so. The reality is that we are so fixated on sexual orientation, not just with others and not just with ourselves, but with puppets. Of course, I'm talking about Bert and Ernie. Well, recently a petition has popped up, and people are trying to convince the producers of Sesame Street to nuptialize Bert and Ernie. This whole thing kind of makes me stop and think, what the hell is going on in the world? Personally, I don't care if Bert and Ernie are gay or not. As a child, I never wondered what their special relationship was. To me, they were friends, and to be honest, that's all I needed to know. And that's all any child needs to know. I know that the person who created the petition is citing that if we have them marry, it will show children that it's okay to be gay. But do preschoolers, straight or gay, even consider the sexual orientation of puppets in cartoons? I don't don't think so. Do preschoolers even understand what sexual orientation is? I certainly didn't when I was that age. What really worries me about this is how this could be affecting the progression of gay rights. Right now, Bert and Ernie's unique friendship is the #1 leading story in the gay rights media, which I consider a huge loss, not just because they're puppets, but because there are more important things that are going on that need the limelight. Perhaps we should be shelving this little debate and focusing more on the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. For those of you who do not know, the DADT is a policy that forces gays and lesbians to conceal their sexual orientation. This policy was implemented in the US military. Over 17 years, nearly 14,000 troops have been discharged under this policy. It also barred gays and lesbians from enlisting and openly serving their country in the armed forces. So the repeal of this is pretty freaking big. And it's being overshadowed by a yellow and orange Muppet. Furthermore, I would like to see the people who are wasting their time, energy, and breath on their blogs, vlogs, and news articles about Bert and Ernie to use their platforms instead to focus on encouraging the repeal of the entire Defense of Marriage Act. If you don't know what this is, it is a United States law that prevents same-sex marriages. You see, in the grand scheme of things, I'm a live and let live kind of gal. Bisexual, transgendered, gay, lesbians, doesn't matter to me. I don't care who you take to bed or who you're attracted to. What matters to me is the contents of your heart and the ideas in your head. What matters to me is how you treat other people and how you treat yourself. And isn't that the way it should be? Isn't that what's important? And to all the people who watch my vlog, I hope to see you all again here next week for another edition of That Girl Tyson.
General quarters, all hands man your battle stations, all hands man your battle stations.
To Anderson Cooper, you have really pretty eyes and a really cute laugh. Just keep doing what you're doing.